welcome to the King and Me show. I'm one half of this thing, King.
Hey y'all, it's me, Michelle. How y'all doing?
We here at the King and Me show attempt to offer a real outlook on a healthy relationship. Real being relatable,
Entertaining
accountable.
and loving.
Y'all, I turned 41 last week, and my body is reminding me of that every single day. So before we get into this show, Michelle, I want to say thank you for taking care of your manses over the weekend.
You are welcome. It was fun. I enjoy taking care of you.
Did you see the compliment or hear the compliment that our neighbor had gave you?
No, what'd he say?
He said that it's dope seeing a woman taking care of her man.
Look, you my boo, okay?
So for me to you, I do want to say thank you.
I do want to be honest with you about something. I take care of you for a very, very selfish reason.
Why is that?
Because I am trying to move to Greece with you and live out the rest of our old age in Greece, and I need you to be there. So I have to take care of you now so that we can go live in Greece and live our best lives.
Ooh,
over there.
That's a pimp line.
I mean,
I'll take that.
I do love
Thank you,
you.
baby. All right. So know what y'all can do to help us make that dream come true?
Yes.
Go vote.
Go vote.
We made it to the quarterfinals for America's Favorite Couple. And this is where the competition gets real stiff. So we need everybody to go to thekingandmeshow.com, scroll down a little bit,
Just a little bit,
and you'll see the area that'll say vote for us. Click on that link, go vote for us. You get one free vote every single day. If you choose to donate as well, it is a tax deductible write-off for yourself.
Yes.
But anything that you could do can help us get closer to that dream of making it to Greece. So go check out thekingandmeshow.com. Scroll to where you can vote for us to be America's Favorite Couple and get us out the quarterfinals to make it to the finals.
Yes, we really we want to do it. And if nothing else, I do believe that a little begging never hurt. Ain't too proud to beg. No, baby. Remember, he is a U.S. Air Force vet with a heart condition, and I am a teacher. Like, that should come on. We're a cute couple. You should vote for us. So thank you.
No doubt. Now, let's get into today's subject. We're not going to waste any time. Actually, I got to do a little bit marketing out the way.
A little bit.
Two things. A, we're streaming across multiple platforms. To include Period Productions over on Facebook. If there's a like button on your platform, do us a favor, hit that like button. That help pushes us out on the algorithm. If you don't, then whoever may your haters succeed in life.
Oh my gosh.
Second thing is I'm wearing a hat from Humble Dad. Michelle and I were just on his live stream last Monday, right after hours, and it was a really good episode talking about how do you handle traveling as a couple. Him and his wife went on a cruise together, and it's one of those things that it's not as talked about, but things that can occur if you've never traveled together or it's rare that you've done it. That could be the building blocks to your relationship ending. So we just talked about just kind of how to navigate traveling as a couple. So go check that out over at Humble Dad on all platforms. And thanks for the hat. I wasn't expecting it, so I appreciate it.
Really dope. I like it.
All right.
Handsome and handsomer.
Ooh, I'll take it. Now, today's topic and what we're going to talk about: couples and disagreements. We're going to go over.
I'm sorry. I'm dramatic sometimes.
We're going to go over some scenarios here that can occur in real life. And most of all, I think this was more aimed towards newer couples that have been in the game. They've already been battle tested.
Ooh.
So they might have some things that they can add to our scenarios of stuff that we may not consider. So if you're one of those battle tested couples, chime in.
Yes,
let the people know.
Please.
So I would say that these are more catered towards a new couple. Like, for example, you're a new couple and
if you're under 18 months.
New-ish would apply for 18 to 2 years.
But then by the time you hit 3 years, you're good. You're old faithful. Like, y'all have been through some stuff.
and you're getting to know each other,
Mhm.
and you meet the parents.
Ooh.
And the parents don't necessarily approve of the person that you're with.
Parents just don't understand.
What do you do?
If you are with someone and you've met the parents and the parents aren't really approving of that relationship, you have to really consider two things. Number one, why you're in this relationship. Like, is this your spouse or is this just like a casual fling? Like, what do you want to do with that person? And I'll get to why that matters. And then two, you also have to consider how much your parents' opinion means to you. Because if it really doesn't matter much, then oh well, just keep it moving. And then also, if that person is someone that is your spouse or someone that you're considering to be a spouse, remember your spouse. Oh, people gonna hate me for this. Your spouse comes before everyone else. Everyone else. Your spouse comes before everyone else.
We're going to come back to that.
Okay.
Give us another scenario that can hit couples that can cause issues early on.
What if
What if
your ex-spouse does not like your current relationship?
Ooh, that's a common one. I think that's a common one that we could touch on during this live stream as well.
Okay.
So we'll hit that. And then I think maybe a third one, and it's more for people with kids. What about the kids? What do you do if everything about this relationship is great, but then a child or children from either side decides to block and hate on the relationship for whatever reason? I think those are kind of three common things that can occur that can have people sitting, that can draw a line and have people sitting on either side of that line instead of being a unified front. So we're going to hit those up.
Okay.
We're going to talk about them and see what y'all have to contribute to the conversation. So come on in, hit that like button, and let's get through the first scenario. Scenario number one. Let's talk about the one that you brought up.
Ooh, so what to do if your ex don't like your current?
Let me set it up.
All right, set it up.
You're a couple. You've been together for, let's say you're going on 4 years. You're going on 4 years in this relationship. Things are going well. Both of y'all were previously married. And now y'all are together. In this scenario, my ex-wife is okay with you. Y'all don't have any issues. There's no line stepping or anything. Your ex-husband has problems with me, habitually line steps, and throws subtle jabs every single time we're all together in the same space. And we're all together. Maybe we got kids that are at a place, so we all come together to support the kids. You know, that type of a scenario. I have a problem with it. You don't. How do we come together on this one?
So on this question, you have a problem with it. I don't. Has it led to arguing between us?
I've said something to you about it.
But we haven't like fought about it.
No.
Okay. So for me, I look at that differently. And I'll probably, most people will probably disagree with me. But I look at it if my man has a problem with something, it needs to be rectified and it needs to be addressed. I would also say that with it being my ex-husband, then I would need to have that conversation with my ex-husband about his behavior, so that it could work out to the best of its ability.
Okay. However, oftentimes, what if it's a scenario in which you see something that's perceived, I'm bringing it to you as perceived disrespect. But in your heart of hearts, you don't see it that way.
I feel like I have to respect you as the man, the head of the household. You see it as disrespect. And I have to honor that.
Flip it then. If it was the opposite way, should me as the man of the household, like I don't see it as disrespect, but you're coming to me that it is, and you're saying, King, your ex-wife be throwing little jibber jabs that you don't see, but I'm telling you, it's a little shield from time to time. I need for that to be addressed.
I think in that case, as the man, as the head of the household, it is your responsibility and your duty to maintain peace and order.
Hmm.
And in that moment, your managing of peace and order may not be saying anything right then. It may be like holding on to it or addressing it in a different way. But I don't believe that as your wife, it would be my place to intercede with how, well, excuse me, to interfere with how you would handle something.
Interesting. I don't disagree with that.
I was say, like, I think you would agree with that.
Yeah, it's just that I'm hearing you say that the gender kind of plays a factor in the direction of how something should be handled.
Simply because I do believe in some ways, call it old fashioned if you want to. I do believe that you are the man, you are the head of the household. It is your responsibility to take care of things that impact the household.
Do you think that if I were to not take action on something because I don't believe that it's actionable, I've seen that hinder relationships because the other person doesn't feel supported. How can people get past that?
I think that's a big difference. You confronting someone because I feel disrespected and you honoring my feelings can be two very different things.
How?
How? So hear me out, hear what I'm saying, make note of it, and promise that, or assure me that if for whatever reason it happens again, that you will take care of it in some way. But maybe in that particular moment, it may not be best. Or maybe in that moment, your suggestion is like, okay, so for right now, I'm trying to look out because you said that there were kids involved in the scenario. Maybe you're like, for right now, I'm trying to look out for the good of the kids. And aside from that, then we cut all ties. Like if it has nothing directly to do with the child, we cut all ties. And that's how we manage this and, you know, mitigate losses for right now until we can move forward. I would respect that answer.
Okay. Shout out to Paul Bennett. Paul said, "Good evening, King and Me from Georgia." You know, Paul just had his
I didn't know
first.
he was in Georgia. Okay.
Yeah, and he just had his first Waffle House. That's what I did. I did the exact same thing when he said he experienced his first Waffle House within the last week or two. I was like, Little John, what?
I'm not trying to judge people. Like I really am working on my judging, and then you go, Paul, and you throw this big curveball. I'm trying hard not to judge. Nah, you're good.
Um, Paul, I'm curious. Have you and your spouse early on in your relationship had a disagreement that put y'all on other sides of the equation? That's what we're talking about here for today. And in the scenario that we just gave, we were saying what happens if there's a perceived level of disrespect from somebody's ex, and the ex is apart and still in the life because y'all had kids together. One person believes that there was disrespect. The other person was like, nah, or I ain't gonna say nah. They heard it. Because Michelle was saying that the thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that the person feels heard, but you just don't agree that the perceived disrespect was the same way, and you don't view it as disrespect. Like, what do you do? How do you get past that? Did you ever have anything early on in your relationship of something that was similar? Maybe it was a sister or it was a parent, and they threw shade or said something that was very slick and subtle in the presence of you and your significant other. Like, how did y'all handle that? I'd be really curious because we see that as some of the things that can derail couples and relationships early on.
But see, the way that I see it is it falls to this whole big power struggle, regardless of the gender. It falls to this power struggle where it's like, oh, so you gonna let that person keep disrespecting me? And again, regardless of the gender, it falls to this whole big thing. You're gonna let that person keep disrespecting me. And I am not saying in any way, shape, or form that anyone should be disrespecting another person. However, I believe that sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So it's the approach in which you go to that ex partner, that ex spouse, if you do at all. Because some people can just be petty and they could very well know exactly what they're doing just to try to get under your skin and just to kind of cause dis-ease. And just like you would say in any other situation, if you see a clown, don't give them a show. Like, don't react to them. Not reacting to them will probably piss them off more than anything else because they know that they're doing something to be petty. But if you're not giving them any reaction whatsoever, any attention, any time of day, the behavior will eventually stop. And that's a conversation that you need to have with your partner, that you're trying to look out for the good of the kids involved, but don't give that person any attention. Don't feed it. What you don't feed won't live. So, yeah.
Okay. Paul said, to my question, of course we did. But this scenario wouldn't happen because I did not want to deal with a woman with kids. As for disrespect from others towards my wife, and I think he's gonna have more to it. That's
okay,
that's
it
coming
kind of got cut off.
because
Okay.
it got cut off.
I feel you, Paul. I'm not gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna be honest because this was one thing I told King about a long time ago. Like, he was very honest about the fact that he, at the time that we met, wasn't looking for a relationship, and I, on the flip side, was not looking to date someone with a child, someone who had been married, because I never wanted to deal with this.
Yeah, and then let me say this as respectfully as I can. I get that because if it was up to me, like if I was in a relationship, let's say if it wasn't a marriage, we were in a relationship that wasn't any kids involved, the relationship ended, I really wouldn't want to have any communications with that person really going forward. The relation, I think friendships can kind of wane and go, and you can still kind of keep those kind of connections.
Mm-hmm.
But romantic relationships hit a different level. So when that ish ends, like, why do you want to keep somebody that y'all had that additional level of intimacy around?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want anything to do with my ex-wife if we didn't have any kids together. And that's no shade to her. That's no disrespect to her. That's just how I would prefer to operate, so that you have cleaner cuts of things that aren't potential barriers to anything you have to do going forward.
That's fair.
So like that's how I look at it anyway. Paul said, one, remove from the situation, confront if forced, otherwise separate.
And that's fair. I think even though this is a hypothetical
Situation. We'll just go with it.
right.
Just go with it.
Even though
Baltimore.
it's right. Even though it's hypothetical, I will say one big thing for me that I've always held is, and it's because of something that you said when we first got together, which was that you only deal with your ex as it pertains to your child that you two have together. And I think for me, if this were like what were happening, I would say that's a hard, firm line that I would want to draw. If it does not directly, and I'm talking about directly, have to do with your child, then I would say, please, let's not have any type of conversation. If it doesn't, and like, I'm not talking about some, oh, I called to talk about the child, and then like I went on a segue because I have ADHD and I do segues. No, once we get to that segue, it's no longer about the child. So I feel like if you're in this situation, once if it doesn't pertain to the child, it does not need to be discussed between the two of y'all. Like, not friends, not having calls and all that stuff. Like, that's where I would feel like if we're at this situation, that's where we draw the line, making it only about the kids.
Now, let me throw this in there because I'm an optimistic guy. As an optimistic guy, I like to see the good in people.
You do.
And I like to think that things could be good or great with a dynamic that had somebody like still in the mix, and that there shouldn't be any issues, that people wouldn't be catty or jealous or whatever and throw shade and stuff out there. But humans are humans, and humans suck. So I like to say that since I know that humans are going to suck, even though I am an optimistic person, I
and
know
a
that
human yourself.
yes, I know that some people, they just don't see the greater good. And that's me. I'm always like, what's the greater good in all of this?
He's such a good person,
And
y'all.
can we work together for the greater good of everybody? Because if you're good, I'm good, we're good. But if you want to be somebody that wants to take a jab at something just because, then why do I need you around?
That's fair.
So that's how I look at it. Is it difficult if it's parents? Is it more difficult if it's parents or children?
Okay. So I'm gonna handle those separately. I feel like one thing that married people forget when they get married is that your spouse comes first.
What if it's not a spouse?
The person that you choose to do your life with comes first.
Say more.
So, okay, I was going to use a biblical reference, but the biblical reference pertains to the spouse specifically. But who said it? My therapist said it to me. My therapist, and I'm going to try to paraphrase what he said. He said that your family are the people who are related to you and you have absolutely no say in it, right? But a relationship, this is someone that you are choosing daily to be with. And because you are making the choice daily to be with that person comes first.
I'd agree with that. I say the person that you sleeping next to with their breath all up in your face should be the one that you put first.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
100%.
The one that you're going to be doing coitus with later on should be the one that you put first.
Oh my gosh. We are a PG show. Not even PG-13, PG.
That's PG. You're going to learn today. My mom said to the earlier scenario that she tell that person to kick rocks. And shout out to Tarika in the building, said, good evening, King and Queen. How are y'all? We're doing excellent. I had a brief
I was going to say, are we doing excellent?
I had a brief stint over the weekend that Michelle needed to push me around in a wheelchair.
And it was so much
and
fun.
She had fun doing that, y'all.
OMG, that was so much fun. If we weren't at that particular medical center, I would have like pushed you down the hallway just to see how far you could have gone, and then I would have run after you. And then I would have wanted you to record it. So I would have pushed you, let you record, and like have the camera facing this way. And then I would have been like running down the hall with like my arms and everything, like all wild out. But no, that hospital was a little bit more mature. So like you couldn't do that. But I sure would have.
Paul Bennett has a question. Spouse before children, agree or disagree? Agree. Agree, easily. I think that you have to come together and be on the same page before you can deal with the kids. And I think I know where you're going with this.
All right. So, Paul, I know this is not your situation because you didn't, you already said what you said about your wife. But let's just say that there were children from outside of your union with your wife. So maybe your wife had a child before or you had a child before. There he is right there. There's my question. Would you consider stepchildren the same way? So that's my question for you, Paul. My question for you is, do you view, well, for both of you, do you view stepchildren the same way? Is it spouse before stepchildren? Or, how do I word it? So spouse before stepchildren or spouse before your biological child, but that's not your spouse's biological.
All people being reasonable in this scenario?
Mm-hmm.
Spouse before children.
Okay. Spouse before children. Okay.
Person before children. And here's why. That's why I said, is everybody reasonable at this point? Because I believe that it can be unreasonable. Like if I have a child, that child is 17, they're a senior in high school.
Mm-hmm.
and you and I are in a relationship, but we're not spouses.
Mm-hmm.
And you come at me and you say, King, I don't really get the chance to see you that much because your free time is devoted to your kid. And I know you don't have that much free time, but when you do, it seems like it's going towards your kid and not us.
Mm-hmm.
I can see, depending on how true that is, how true it is, that can be an unreasonable thing to say to somebody who is balancing work and trying to raise their kid and trying to cultivate a relationship all at the same time.
Okay. All right.
So
fair.
all things being reasonable, it is still that relationship before the kids.
Okay. Sarika asked if you're okay.
Yeah, I'm good. It just, I'm in a little bit of pain from time to time, but overall, I'm breathing, so I'm good. Thank you for asking, Tarika. Now, I think we summed that up. I think we summed it up. If it was parents, if if it was worse, or if it was kids. Do you know of any relationships that struggled because of outside personal connections or relationships? I can think of two.
I told you about how I broke up my mom's relationship when I was a child.
You did, but bring it up again.
All right. And then we can take a look at Paul's comment. So I think I was in middle school and my mom was dating this guy. And I'm going to be honest, he was a really, really nice guy. Very, very kind.
You are so bad.
He was a kind guy.
But
he had 6 kids. And some of those kids were younger than me. And that's where I had a problem. I had no problem with his older kids who were older than me, but I am the youngest child on both my mom's side and on my dad's side. So I'm both of their youngest kid. And I had a problem with there being someone younger than me. And not just one someone. There were like several of them pitneys that were younger than me.
As far as you knew, he treated your mom good?
Yeah.
Like as an adult or kind of after the fact?
Yes.
Wow.
He had 6 kids.
What if Castle did that with us?
That's why I've always been walking on eggshells. Because I know. And to be fair, it was not like
you were like a Home Alone type kid.
It wasn't like a Home Alone kid type thing or
purposely-
anything, but it was one of those, Mommy, I need you, and like always, like I felt like I was extra clingy and needy to my mom at the time, and like that was my way of sabotaging the relationship. I didn't do anything mean or unbecoming or anything like that. I wasn't rude. I didn't, backmouth or backtalk or anything like that. I wasn't rude to him. But I will not say that I made it easy for my mom to date him.
The manipulation. You think you know somebody.
You know the really, really jacked up part?
Oh, it gets worse?
It does get worse. So the guy is the son of one of my mom's closest friends. And now the friend is obviously, like, the friend is way older than my mom. Or not way older, but older than my mom. And the son is a little bit younger than my mom. Like, my mom will be 71 this year, Lord willing. And I think he was just probably like 5 or so years younger than her. So there, whatever, there was that age difference. But at the time, I just looked at it like he has 6 kids. And some of them are younger than me. And that is problematic because I am the baby. If all 6 of them kids had been older than me, even if one was 1 day older than me, they'd probably be married today.
Taking people out of a happy relationship.
She did end up meeting a nice guy after that.
Did that work out?
No, but that had nothing to do with me.
Mm-hmm.
His kids were older. I liked him. He was a firefighter.
Mm-hmm.
I liked him.
Paul Bennett said, to close that up, technically, it's the same practically. The steps would come first in the mother's mind, which is one of the reasons that it wouldn't work. If I can't raise my own in my home, then no deal. And that's why when I was
to meet him, like he
yeah,
a wealth of wisdom.
Paul's a solid dude. Like I could tell that when meeting him. him when I met him up in New York last year. We are looking at trying to do something together. Either him come down, or maybe we could go up there. Cause I'm looking at going back up to the Empire, not the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty. I've still never seen the Statue of Liberty.
I mean, technically, we saw one in Japan.
True. I've never gone up the Statue of Liberty,
Okay.
and I want to do that. So there are some things that we're planning that we've talked about that we are going to try to hook up and make happen.
Sounds like a plan.
But he's a solid dude, and I like the stuff that he shares with him and his family and things like that.
Nice.
Making things positive out there, Paul, in this big negative world. Did you see what happened in DC?
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's a big distraction. A big distraction.
What's it a distraction from?
From the other thing that he is trying to do,
Let the people know,
is to have the Supreme Court immediately recall the Marriage Equality Act that allowed for same-sex couples to get married.
I did not hear anything about that.
I wonder why.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that's a subject for a different show. But
I mean, technically, it's relationships. That's why I mentioned it. It is relationships. And here, okay. So I'll say this. Like it's a little segue.
Bring it together.
I will say this. I do not believe that someone who is on their third marriage and has 5 kids by 3 different women should be in any place to say what is a valid or invalid marriage. I do not believe someone in that situation has the right to say that. Furthermore, I believe in God. I believe in the Bible. Not everyone does.
Okay.
The assumption or the belief that every single person in America must subscribe to the Christian religion is completely unfair, goes against our First Amendment rights.
Okay.
And should not be accepted or tolerated in any way, shape, or form. How dare we as a country that we love the Second Amendment. Oh, we love us some Second Amendment, but that First Amendment, we don't tend to pay that much attention to, or the Fifth, or the Fourth. There's several that we don't pay attention to, but definitely coming back to that first one, we don't pay attention to that first one that often. So to say that it goes against the words of the Bible to have a same-sex couple, but does everyone believe in that Bible? Why are you holding people to a standard that they don't believe in? That is not fair. That goes against their First Amendment rights. And I have a problem with things that are done unconstitutionally and going against that First Amendment right that says everyone has a right to a freedom of religion. Well, how can I have the right to a freedom of religion if you're saying my marriage is not valid because it doesn't align with the Bible that you believe in? And now you're going to go and take away a right that they have had and enjoyed for the past 10 years because it doesn't align with you. And then furthermore, you are on your third marriage. Like, that's not fair. The Bible doesn't say to do that.
How successful do you think the people that are trying to get this change are going to be?
Considering the way that SCOTUS is lined up right now, I believe, unfortunately, that it will go through because SCOTUS is heavily conservative leaning. This is the same SCOTUS and SCOTUS being Supreme Court of the United States. This is the same SCOTUS that also worked to undo Roe v. Wade. So I do believe that there will be, unfortunately, success in that.
Paul agreed with you and stated 100%, Michelle, the nation should remain secular. Theocratic countries have a horrible track record.
Yes.
So I have to look up what theocratic means.
It's okay. I wasn't going to say nothing, but you mentioned it. Okay.
And I'm just going to read it right here. Theocratic means relating to or characteristic of a theocracy, which is a system of government where religious leaders or institutions hold political power, and the laws are often based on religious doctrine. For example, in a theocratic state, leaders might be priests, imams, or other religious figures, and laws and policies are typically tied directly to religious texts or beliefs.
Which goes
That's
against
dangerous.
exactly. It is very dangerous and goes against our First Amendment rights. And again, I love Jesus. I'm literally wearing a shirt that talks about Jesus. Like, it comes from the Bible. This is 1 Corinthians 13:13. Don't get me wrong. I love the Lord, but everyone doesn't.
And where can people find that shirt at?
You can find it right here at www.godhappenedtome.com. Thank you very much. And
this can be this very subject can
politics and religion.
Divisive.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, very, very divisive.
Can be divisive. I can see a scenario in which somebody comes into the house and they feel exactly how you feel, very emboldened to use their voice to speak up against it. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting here like, man, I'm just trying to watch the Steve Harvey show. I don't want to hear about this.
Yeah.
And how would you feel if I did that to you?
I don't think you would ever do that to me because you respect me enough to hear me out. However, in that respect, you do also expect me to respect when you were in the middle of something. So I think you would politely say something to me like, can this wait for a second? You wouldn't say it like you just said it.
And we've instituted things that I think that people that have been in the game as long as Paul and his wife have, we've instituted stuff like, hey, do you have a second?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Hey, do you have capacity right now for XYZ? Mm-hmm. And in that moment, it's up to me or her, if I'm the one asking her, to really assess if they do have the capacity, or to say, not at the moment, can we do XYZ later?
Right.
And we did a good job at establishing that. It made me think when we were on Humble Dad's episode, where a lot of it was about how to manage discourse and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, we've instituted things early in this relationship based on prior relationship.
Yeah, it took a little bit of pain to get to there.
To where we can get past discourse as it comes up because we have a certain goal in mind. And that's what I think people sometimes, or people often forget.
Yeah.
Is, you practice the stuff that you've discussed, practice the stuff that you've discussed mm-hmm. with your significant other, mm-hmm. and you both honor those things, right? I had to do this thing in couples counseling where you had the floor. Mm-hmm. And if you were the one that had the floor, and the floor, it was a painted tile thing, but it could be anything. If you were holding the floor, you had the authority in that moment to speak and get out what you had to say uninterrupted. And then when you got done, you would pass the floor, and then it was your turn to listen, not be, passive listening, where you're listening to just to respond. Yeah, but active listening, where you're listening to understand. And then when you got done,
you gave the floor back.
You would pass the floor. I had to do that. It still didn't work. Because my point in sharing that is that it takes both people honoring and practice. And I think you and I do that well. Yes. Have we been 100%? No.
But we've been like 98.
But we've been like 98 to 99% well in doing that. Absolutely. No doubt. Let's get through another scenario here. And I have to go and scroll back up. Another thing that's pretty prevalent in today's society is social media and social media boundaries. Okay? Ooh. So I'm going to give a specific scenario. One person is fine liking and commenting on other people's posts. And those other people tend to be attractive people. And the other person feels that it's disrespectful in a committed relationship. What's innocent online social media interaction and what's crossing the line?
Okay. So piggybacking off of one of the first scenarios, I think a crossing the line. Oh, no. I was gonna say crossing the line would be like loving, hearting everything that your ex has posted,
Okay.
like that type of stuff. But then I'm also like double standard or whatever. If I see one of my exes and he's posting pictures of him and his wife, because there is someone that I used to mess with years ago who we've always been social media friends because like whatever, like our connection wasn't that deep. Like we weren't gonna go that far.
You're good friends with one of my exes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's okay. I mean, there are things.
Right. Like I'm a friendly person. So I'll see his stuff with his wife and I'm like, she's so cute. Like I love them together. So yeah, I'll go and I'll heart and I'll like that. And that I think it's different if there is an established friendship in place versus there's some half naked 304 who's just randomly showing up in your timeline and you're just loving all of her pictures and you're going in the comments and you're like commenting like, oh, you so gorgeous. Like, I feel like that's disrespectful.
I'm gonna make a confession here, and I'm gonna do it on this live stream right now.
OMG. Okay.
You know how your algorithm tends to show you things that you've interacted with and things like that. It's not fair. Because I'm gonna tell you, if you go to my For You page, it's ridiculous.
You got 304s up and down the line.
It is, but I don't know why. I don't know. I'm confident enough to say that I don't interact with 304 profiles like that. I don't follow them. I don't ooh and then heart tap or anything like that. I don't do it. Yet, I don't know if because I did in the past, even though I've tried to scrub that and change my FY page, that's what still pops up for me.
Where?
On
Instagram?
On Instagram only.
Okay.
It's not like that on Facebook. It's not like that on YouTube.
Because on Facebook, you can erase your search history and like kind of clear it a little bit, but I don't think you can do that on Instagram.
Yep. I was like,
you got to flood it with new stuff.
So I just got to flood it with, because like I'm primarily watching like David Goggins stuff, sports things. The latest that I've really been into that have been a lot of my morning funnies, because those come from Instagram, are accident videos.
Yeah, you gotta on Instagram, you gotta flood your timeline with the stuff that you want to see. So like when you go into the app, you have to come over and like search for things and constantly keep feeding it with what you want to search. Like you're going to see a lot of hair, things pertaining to locks, and things pertaining to exercise in mine. As crazy as it seems, that's what you're gonna see a lot of. You gotta flood it, like keep searching for those things that you would prefer to see. Just like on Facebook, my thing, if you go look, it's gonna show you dessert videos. It's
It's a thing. It's a thing.
It's a whole thing.
And I can't tell you why.
Because start searching for tiny homes.
Tiny homes, okay. No, I don't want to flood my thing with tiny homes.
I was this close, y'all. Did y'all see that? I was this close to getting him to flood his timeline with tiny homes.
I'd rather flood it with positive messages, male uplifting.
They do that in tiny homes.
No.
Just saying. You didn't even try.
So, yeah, so I just showed you what it looked like. I don't look at that stuff. So I don't know why Instagram is still flooding me with that. It's like they want
Instagram is trying to come in between your relationship.
It's like it want me to backslide. I'm glad you can laugh at that. Oh, okay.
See, I love it when you laugh.
Yes. So, what's an innocent online interaction versus what's crossing the line? I think that if it's a scenario where you have somebody, like if I'm over here on every bikini picture that I see and I'm liking them and I'm scrolling, I think that's definitely crossing the line. Like, why am I doing that? Now, if you're in a relationship that's confident and that's you and that person's prerogative and what y'all came to an agreement on, then there's no issue, in that. But I think that you have to know your relationship, know your person, and know that if that's something that you can do versus something that you can't do. Some relationships, they're comfortable with that.
So here's what I'll say. For some people, it's not the person in a relationship liking the statuses or posts or whatever. It's the person's post that they're liking who may interpret that as like low key flirting. Like, oh, he just went in like 10 of my pictures. I'm going to go send him a message in his DM. And that's where I feel like a line is crossed. Like, in and of itself, you liking someone's status, is that a thing? No. But when that person turns around and they're like, well, let me reach out and let me try to shoot my shot, that's problematic.
All right, let's see what we have here for time. Um, we got time to do this last scenario here.
Mm-hmm.
Family first or partner first? A partner cancels date night to help a family member move in at the last minute. The other partner feels like they're always second to family obligations. Where should the priority be when your family needs clash with relationship time? We almost ran into this.
We did.
Yep. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, because for your birthday weekend,
Oh, okay. Okay.
we talked about two possible times to do things.
Yes.
And in my head, I had it all worked out to where I gave you this weekend while I did this with Castle this weekend.
No, so that's where it gets a little fuzzy because you said, I'll follow up.
And then I followed up by saying what the plan was.
No, you didn't follow up with it. So we were in the car, like I think we were coming back from Martinsburg and we were talking about it. And you wanted to do the weekend after my birthday. And I was like, that's cool. I don't have anything planned. However, the weekend before my birthday gets us one extra day of travel. And you were like, okay, let me think about that. And then I know you didn't close that loop. So I knew when you never came back to me and closed that loop that you hadn't like thought it through and closed that loop. Because normally when you close a loop, you come back to me and you tell me that you've closed the loop. So then when you called to tell me about what you were doing with Castle, I was like, but we didn't close that loop about what to do with my birthday.
But me saying it was closing the loop.
No, you normally close loops.
Interesting.
You do. You normally do double back and close a loop about something.
Yeah, when I've had time, but I didn't, as I was doing things and putting it together, I had factored in that when I was talking with Castle. So then me telling you was closing the loop.
Oh, no, I didn't read it that way.
Like if I'm literally just doing that and then I'm kind of putting that together, that was the first opportunity to say something to you, to close the loop.
Yeah, no, I didn't interpret that way.
Interesting.
But in your scenario, you said the word always. What is always? Is always saying that every single time you and I have plans, or in the scenario, two people have plans every single time
And
someone is.
that's not realistic. Let's say a majority, though.
Oh, no, that's problematic.
I agree. Like, all right. So, for example, let me bring my real life scenario into this in the couple of minutes that we do have. Castle's now off in college. Between now, today, and the end of this year, I don't anticipate physically seeing her often. Meaning, and she's an hour and 20 minutes max away from where I live now, which is better than some people that, hey, their kids away in like Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? And so it'll be a little bit that distance is a little bit harder. You and I, we are intentional about the times that we do spend together. But then Kelsey goes, Dad, I want to go see this movie with you. So I'm like, well, how do we make that work? And then we pick a time, and then I say, babe, I was talking with Castle. Castle wants to spend some time with dear old dad. We're gonna go out just this time, and it's just us.
Okay.
Any issues with that?
No,
Why?
because there's your child and she wants to spend time with you. My only thing, and this is not specifically pertaining to Castle. My only thing has always been, did we already have plans scheduled, or did we not close a loop? We didn't close the loop. Like that's the only thing that matters to me. Did we already have plans? Because I, as someone who needs routine and plans out things, if we have something planned and then you cancel it for someone else, I am going to be hurt. And I will not react positively to that. Like, I'm just going to be honest. I'm not going to react positively to it. But that's totally different. Or if you come to me and you present a viable solution.
Okay. Stay right there.
Mm-hmm.
This past weekend, there was an event in Ohio that I got invited to that was on, like, let's say I didn't have my feet issues. All other things considered, I had the opportunity. What was it that we had? We had on the calendar that was there for 6 weeks or so.
Couple of months.
It was originally like a DC date
it was DC date day
that we morphed because of us meeting each other in Vegas next week. Which y'all tune in, because we might be showcasing some things about Vegas.
Surprises for Vegas.
And I was asked if I would be interested in attending the event that was in Ohio. And I said, you got to be kidding me. Michelle had this thing that's on there that I know it's a thing if I were to reschedule it with her. Even though we can do dates, that event wasn't like a life-changing, once-in-a-lifetime thing, but it was something different that I don't know if I'm ever going to get the chance to experience again. And I'm like, I can't do it. And I used that as the reason why, because I did not want to reschedule with you.
And that's partially not fair, because this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Well, why bring it to you? Because also thinking about the rest of this year,
mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it would have been difficult for us to reschedule, but we don't have a lot of weekends that we could have rescheduled.
We don't.
To. So it would have been maybe pushing it to like November. So that's why I just didn't bring it to you.
I think, again, for me, the greatest thing is, did we have plans? Because it's not so much what we do. Like, we were supposed to have a DC date day. We didn't have a DC date day. We did not make it out of the city of Frederick. Well, no, technically we did. But that was for medical reasons. But we still spent the day together. I'm fine with pivots. Like, if we were supposed to go jump off of a bridge, but we've decided we're not going to go do that. We're going to go swimming instead, whatever. I still get that quality time with you. But it's, if you cancel something and you don't offer a solution, then yeah, I'm going to be a little bit triggered by that.
Okay. Paul Bennett said, that's a needs versus wants in regard to the moving situation. A moving situation is a one-time thing, and how your significant other views your family and family functions should be considered. If she gets an attitude helping a family member, that's a red flag.
So, Paul, did you hear the part where it was last minute? Meaning your date with your spouse or your partner was already planned, already factored in, and then at the very last minute, a family member asked for help? To me? And
because this is going to come up. We are going to have this scenario happen.
I know we're going to have this scenario happen. To me, I look at it, I would respond how you would respond if it weren't family, which would be like, but did you not plan for it? Like, why didn't you properly plan for this situation? Because the reality is, if it were you externally looking at something and there were no family involved, that is exactly what you would say. Why didn't you plan for it? I believe both of us would respond differently if our family members reached out to us in that situation. But if it weren't your family and if you were externally looking in, you would say, why didn't you better plan for that situation?
True. Because that's how I think.
Exactly. And we're not that far off in that thought process. I unfortunately get anxious about things and I look at every single scenario. So I try to consider those things going into it. And I also look at it like I tell my family every single thing pretty much where I'm going, simply because I'm gonna need y'all to not hit me up last minute for anything. Like, we have a family calendar. You put things on that family calendar if you want me to attend, if you need me to be present somewhere. If you don't tell me, then don't get mad if I don't show up. You can't get mad if I don't show up. Like, that's not on me. Also, don't volunteer me for stuff.
Yeah.
Adequately plan as though I would not be able to assist you. And if it's really, 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 if it's an emergency, I will drop things to go do things. Urgent is different from emergency.
True. That's why I just say to everybody, get your money up so you can pay people to do stuff that you know people don't want to do. Boss up 2025.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for tuning in to our live stream today. Shout out to Stream Hub World over on Kick for the emoji. I appreciate you with the support just by interacting with our channel. Mm-hmm. We're going to be back live next week. Maybe still in Vegas, maybe back not. Here.
Who knows?
Who knows? Tune into our social medias. You might see some things. Maybe we do something in Vegas. Maybe we don't. Who knows? But how do you find out? Be tuned in. Check out our social medias and stay in touch. Do we have anything else to close out with?
Nope.
We are going to be on WTF Nation Radio. It is official. We are going to be live streaming also on WTF Nation Radio, the voice of U.S. Army WTF moments. Streaming September the 8th is going to be the first live stream that we do with them as well. It is a partnership with them. They are one of the largest military veteran online platforms in the nation, 1-point-something million followers. And it is a good thing for us and a good thing for the viewers and things as well. I think that that's going to be a pretty good platform. So be on the lookout for that. Mm-hmm. Don't forget to go vote. Go to thekingandmeshow.com. We made it to the quarterfinals. Last I looked, we were 11th.
I don't know. I don't even want to go look now.
So
hold on.
We need your help.
We need your
The
help.
link is in the description, or you can go to thekingandmeshow.com to help out. CC Smith said, I want to go to Vegas. Tell your husband to buy you a ticket.
Y'all, we're 13th. We ain't never seen 13 before.
Oh, no.
Go save us.
Go vote. Go vote indeed. All right, y'all. That's it for the King and Me Show. To CC Smith, Paul Bennett, Tarika, Stream Hub, anybody else that's going to catch us on the replay, Will 4K. I know he always tunes in. Thank you.
Thank you.
And who ain't we seen in a while? What's her name? I'm blanking on her name right now. Free T, where you at?
Where you at? Where you be?
We out.
See ya.
Did I hit you in the head?
You did.
Let's do that again.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.